I would like you to know that Adam is filming in Japan and it's 1 a.m. and all the neighbors hate him now.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. They have holes in the bottom of their car and they're pushing it with their feet. Infrared drivers out there, beware. Because they don't have engines. You know why? They can't make engines. You know why? Instinct doesn't make engines. James, welcome to Unthink Me.
Oh, hey, welcome, Adam.
You're welcome. I'm here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Here.
We're all welcome here. Great. We're going to talk about 12 altitudes or stages of consciousness in driving. Driving the car.
Driving my car.
Train. High on cocaine.
Driving a big old truck. Pedal to the metal. Hope I don't run out of luck. Driving down the highway in sequins and chiffon. Driving a truck with my high heels on.
That's right. Driving a truck with my high heels on.
Yeah, it's like 2 octaves lower.
Name that artist. Okay. Yeah.
Driving.
So
what kind of way can I ensure that I never make it into third tier consciousness? Drive.
I will say, okay, so we have some, we don't have the whole spectrum of driving cars. We can say that pretty clear.
We'll play this game.
Yeah.
I feel what we're going to stumble upon is there's a lot of victimization and self in driving a car. Why did that guy do that to me? Why did that person do this to me? That person doesn't know that I'm in a hurry.
How dare he cut me off?
Yeah. The nerve.
You are the chosen driver.
Anyway.
You can't cut me off. I have the high ground. Why the fuck? We're just in a prequely kind of mood today. But we don't, like, there's really not a whole spectrum of driving. A lot of spiritual practices specifically say, like, do not do this while driving. Do not do this while driving. You don't want to be meditating while driving. This is where you're back in the material, in the manifest, and you're trying to bring the realization out, extrovert that realization.
The fun part of this game is to guess and sillily try to place the motivations of other drivers and yourself on this thing. It's an exercise. It's not real. Nothing we talk about is real. We never said we were right. So join us today as we talk about
reality, bro.
Stages of driving.
Y'all use types. When you assume other drivers, you don't assume their level. You assume their type. You assume their race. You assume their gender. You know, oh, this lady cut me up. Dad, that's a guy. Yeah.
Ageism. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to levelism you here.
Let's
we're
try
talk about levels of drivers. Okay.
Let's dig right in.
In order to obtain licensure to drive a motor vehicle in the state of the United, you have to be about 14, 16? You had looked at this.
Yeah. 6 states allow you to start your process at 14. 2 states make you wait to start the process until 16. Most states are around 15.
You got to parallel park on a busy road on a hill in San Francisco with my coffee sitting on the dash. It's brimming hot, full, and it's not going to spill a drip, and there's not going to be any cream in that motherfucker because my switch is up, brothers.
When I'm driving a car and someone has a drink, I try to be cognizant of if they're taking the drink. And so like, I have almost gotten in accidents because they're like, oh, now's a great time to take a drink when we're like, there's a dead stop on the highway. Like I try to like ease it down like a limo
You ever
driver.
play the like hydraulic stabilizer game where you're going over bumps and you're trying to keep your coffee from spilling and you're using all these like crazy muscle alignments to like perfectly go with the flow of how the car is moving?
You're trying to think of like using a gyroscope and how that would move.
I was going to say gyroscope, but I couldn't think of it.
100% as a youth, that was something dumb that I would do while driving is have a cup with no lid. Or no cup holder. And so I buy this specific cup. We've talked about the LO coffee cup in early episodes with a hook so I can put it anywhere. I don't need a cup holder and a lid that closes with the use of one hand. And then as well as
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
no,
Could be
my
sponsored.
Buzio
Could be at the
water
start of the video
thermos.
with a little
This is a
logo.
straw that goes all the way to the bottom, so I can take a drink of water and never take my eyes off the
Yeah.
road. I'm not like tilting up
Boiky,
and
boiky,
try to drive.
boiky. You don't want to develop your skills as you drive. You just want to have some hot coffee that's not a pain in the ass. Instinct, don't drive no car. Lore, don't drive no car.
Mm.
I was watching a probably 4-year-old drive one of those little like battery powered like
Oh,
hot
okay.
what do you
Yeah,
call
yeah,
them,
yeah,
Hot
yeah.
Wheels, like "Meow," like over there. She's just laughing her ass
Power
off.
wheels or
She
something. Yeah.
doesn't get that you turn the thing to make it go left or right. She's just bashing into stuff. She gets that the pedal makes it go.
Uh-huh.
But this is an advanced coordination. Obviously, you can get to coordinated adulthood at lower magenta level, but we don't really trust you to drive a car because to
Mm.
drive a car, if you recall, a little Dunning-Kruger in driving, you had to learn a bunch of bullshit trivia that made no sense. You had to memorize, like, what do you do
How
when you're in the
how
left lane?
how
And
many hundreds of feet does your brake light need to illuminate and be visible?
as a lore accumulator, you'll get some of it, but you
Mhm.
don't systematize shit enough that you'll be able to understand, like, I need to know all the rules of driving if I'm driving a car.
At
So we
my
don't really trust you to operate a car.
My first car was a Subaru GL, no other title. It was two-wheel drive, and it was a stick shift. So not only am I this little infant baby mind trying to figure out the world of driving, but I'm basically operating a Gundam. It took both legs and both arms and my
Hmm.
eyes, ears, and smell, because it's an old car, to operate this piece of equipment. Any big robot you see, the alien that's this big that pilots the human, they have like arms and switches and legs and buttons everywhere. I think it is a challenge to drive in an manual vehicle because it takes all of your extremities.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a bodification of the vehicle. Like, if you think about it, when you're driving, you're like, oh, like, I need to get in there, or like this person needs, like, they need to go around me. You actually are considering yourself your vehicle. You're
Hmm.
selfifying. Same way,
Hmm.
if you like play a video game, you selfify immediately. Like, oh, I died, I fell off the cliff. Like, oh, well, obviously no, you
But
didn't.
don't
You sat
worry,
here
I
and
had an
played a video
extra
game.
guy.
Modification of the vehicle. I feel like you do that consciously at higher stages, but I think that it's part of the vehicle. This is a vehicle. The physical body, the car is a physical body that you vehicleify. The Gundam is an augmentation of the physical body.
I worked
And
with a
we,
man many years ago who would ride a motorcycle every single day. I don't think he owned a car. It didn't matter if it was raining, cold, whatever. When asked why he doesn't drive a car, he said he didn't trust himself because in a motorcycle, if you make a decision, it could be your life. In a car, you have this big steel cage around you. And he's like, I zone out. I like think about too many other things. I shouldn't have a car. A motorcycle makes me like be driving. Oh, okay, that's cool.
that's a red meme legend. It's a legend, right? It's like this guy. He's got a way that he drives a thing. And we don't let red meme drive. We don't let legends drive. Legends don't drive well. It's same reason. We basically in our culture, in our society, we're mad at you if you don't make it up to Amber a little bit. You're pretty punished if you don't make it up to Amber. Amber follows rules. Amber accepts the authority of the authority. And
Amber
if
gives the right of way to the proper person.
Yeah. If you get caught with your red pants down, you'll probably
Mhm.
get a ticket. You know, you probably did something kind of like maybe you just weren't really like paying attention. Maybe you were like deliberately like, see if I can get away with this or
We spoke on this a little bit before, and I didn't ask the question. When people are breaking the law in the car, which is basically the far left lane on the highway, like we are actively trying to break the law, is anyone doing that not knowingly? I'm not saying like taking a right on red in New York City, which isn't posted anywhere, but you can't take a right on red in New York City anywhere. I've done it, and then the passenger with me is like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can get pulled over." Well, there's no signs. Is anyone breaking the law other than those little nuances? Is anyone in that left lane going 15 miles per hour over the speed limit and not thinking I'm breaking the law? Is
there's an
anyone
Amber
going down that
defense.
left lane
Yeah.
and passing the hidden cop on the little turnaround
Yeah.
and not looking in their rearview mirror?
Well, there's this notion of like I was keeping up with the flow of traffic, which was like 20 miles per hour over the speed limit in this
Okay.
town that I live in. I think that's defensible. If the flow of traffic is generally going that fast, Also, if you're passing, you might be going a little over the speed limit to get past someone who's like slightly under the speed limit. And I think that they're trying to kind of rationalize like
Yep. You're
legend
bargaining.
drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your own mind, you're like thinking, what am I going to tell the cop if and when I get pulled over? I have only been in the vehicle. I wasn't driving in a single vehicle in my entire 41 years of life that got pulled over for going too slowly. And
Yeah, I've had that happen 4 different times.
it was posted.
So red meme is like you had said, like a selfish driver. They drive the way they drive. Maybe that's in accordance with the rules. Maybe it's not, and maybe they'll get pulled over and they'll get their license taken away, and maybe they won't.
Probably not.
So now, getting to Amber meme, we can follow rules, we can learn complicated dogmatic systems, and we can drive. We can listen
Well,
to
let's not ignore infrared and magenta. No, we don't let them drive. But infrared
no.
and magenta, I think, are forever passengers. They don't have a license. The backseat driver or co-pilot driver
Nice, yeah,
is
yeah.
right there. Like, oh, dude, you need to pass this guy. Like, well, don't drink and drive, and you'd still have your license, and you could pass this guy and lose your license that way. You're a passenger, bruh.
That's fun. Yeah, I like the parent-child dynamic of the passengers in the vehicle. It was like, quit going over bumps. It's like there's potholes in the road. I'm just
Oh, honey,
making it go forward.
honey.
Yeah, the dynamics within the car definitely come into play in the first year.
In the yeah, those lower levels, they're not to be ignored, but they're probably not driving until beyond the age, and I'm not going to put a number on it, of reaction time sharp enough that it's safe and reasonable for you to drive. I do believe there are some senior citizens who are driving on survival basis. Those are the ones going 15 miles below the speed limit because they know in their heart of hearts they don't have the reaction time to go the speed limit. God bless them.
Yeah, we're not here.
Survival.
We're not
That's
here to pass
survival
judgment.
driving.
We're not writing driving laws. You know, we don't care when you fucking go and kill someone. You know, that's your problem. That's society's problem. We're shrewd about all this. So the experience of driving, right? Like look at these cars out here. It's like, did you get a car because you wanted to stand out? You wanted people to notice your car. You associate that car with your identity, with your
I'm thinking
sexuality.
about it. Oh
You know,
God,
so
I'm at that like midlife crisis that I'm
yeah,
thinking about it. I don't know if I'll ever actually pull the trigger, but like a
there's
hot
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
flash, expensive car
Personality
is
car.
yeah is within my means. I could do it, but I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Ego car is economical. It looks okay. It's presentable. There's nothing wrong with the way it looks, the way it drives. It's not going to fail you, right?
I've had plenty of those.
And then, I don't think that we know enough about the higher levels to know what their car looks like or like how they operate a vehicle. But we can. I think the experience of being an orange driver, now that we're orange and we can drive. I mean, amber and orange is kind of the same. It's sort of a task that you have to do. You're responsible for delivering us all safely to our destination.
Mm-hmm.
And all this stuff that's happening is kind of an inconvenience. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of external to you. It's something that you have to tolerate. The commute. This is to me the orange and amber sense of driving, and that can get really ramped up if your expectations for your driving trip are exceeded. It maybe traffic's heavy, or maybe there's weather or something. You start getting mad. You start getting like externalizing the ego of your car to other egos, and now you're like arguing with cars while driving.
By passing
you're
passing and tailgating is how
flipping
cars
them
argue.
off,
Yeah,
talking about them within
honking
your
the
vehicle.
horn.
Can you believe what that person did?
Look at this
Ridiculous.
knucklehead.
Thinking and feeling judgments of other vehicles as people. And it's funny, you don't just get like you are mad at the car slash driver entity. It is not personal. Because once you get out of that car and you're facing each other, unless you're a total psychopath, you're like, oh, it's just like a person that like was driving like an idiot.
I was going to a house party in my 20s. And on the way there, an amber and red situation happened where it was like a merge, honking happened, like cutting off. And then like on a street that's 45 miles per hour, going like 55 to pass them. And then like brake checking them. Like, this is so stupid. I was infrared in the situation. Passing a little bit, and like revving engines and things like that. Still honking like 2 blocks after someone's feelings were hurt. So we get to the party, and right behind us pulls up the car that this happened. So I'm thinking this person followed us to like confront the driver. Nope, going to the same party. Boy, that made it awkward for those two.
Boy,
But
yeah.
yeah, just what a weird thing. You don't usually like face the person. You're a lion
Right.
behind the thing. Hey, buddy, what? And then if they pull up to the same party, you're uh, like, bro, you're an idiot. Like, yeah, you're an idiot.
It's like facing someone that you were fighting with in social media. It's like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah,
this is a whole yeah. You're just avatars when you're driving, and that's very frightening.
their
Orange Meme
confrontation
understands.
lasted about maybe they're best of friends now, but the red coming out in driving is I think probably the most noticeable level is that road rage. Adam and I were talking about, well, what do the upper stages look like in driving? Is it the person that like on a regular like arterial city road is stopping for the pedestrian who may or may not be jaywalking, and then like the other traffic doesn't stop, so now you become the asshole because you're holding up traffic? But like, where, how do you notice, where do you see that part?
The personality level of driving wants to say something with how they drive, with their stickers, with the car that they drive, with the music that comes out of their windows, with the where they're going, what they're coming
Hmm.
from,
I
what
hadn't
the
even considered.
vehicle says about their malehood or their capacity to bring things in. The ego
Or
level driver again is
femininity.
just pragmatic. But interestingly, what you're pointing out here is the green virtue signaling vehicle, the person
Hmm.
who is now doing a little bit of personalitying, realigning personality to those green sensitive values. They're driving. They're saying something with their driving about how nice they are. They
Hmm.
save the environment. They stop for the elderly.
Hmm.
And this does result in some artifacting.
Hmm.
In a lot of time, you're stuck behind someone. They're letting the person pass. They're across the street or whatever, and you're waiting for them to do this. They make that decision for everyone else behind them,
Hmm.
who usually doesn't approve of that decision.
Absolutely not.
And that is such a parable of green meme. I make the decision for all these people behind me,
Who
and they
don't
all
agree with
suffer.
me.
They suffer through that, and that's what's up. I mean, you're not wrong. Like that old lady is gonna like die if she doesn't get to the grocery store. So it's like, what do you got to do? It's so fucking important. You can't. Okay.
I'm to the point of saying dad jokes that I will out loud, whether I'm in the car by myself or not, be like, looks like someone needed to leave earlier.
So now we're getting into the second tier and more home basey kind of stuff. I like to talk a lot about just the acceptance of driving, the acceptance of the experience of driving. I was a music teacher in Vancouver, Washington, and I was in a phase where I was just not really feeling anything. I was kind of just like, slumping through life, tolerating life. And
Hmm.
I went out to
On
get
autopilot.
yeah, I had to like, okay, like I'm programming, I'm on a thing, it's important. I do have work in the morning. I have to go and I have to go this big long route that's like annoying and get my groceries and food so that I'm nourished and I can continue. But I knew I was like, I don't want to do this. I would almost rather just like not eat tonight than do this right now. That's how shitty I was feeling at that
Damn.
time.
Okay.
And so I get in my car and I'm going. I'm like, well, it's kind of pretty out, whatever. And like, there, all the stuff that I thought that would happen happened that was irritating and annoyed me. There's this one particular place that I have a particular distaste for as a sort of like orange meme kind of being, and they have one in Missoula. They have one in Vancouver where I was. It's a stoplight on a main thing
Hmm.
that lets a little tiny thing come because they lobbied for it in
Oh,
their
yeah.
city
Okay.
council.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
cuts off the whole line of traffic coming off the interstate, the whole commerce, the whole everybody getting home to let
So your light is red. Their light turns green, but there's no one actually there because that one car that was on that took a right on red 10 minutes ago.
practically all the time.
Yeah. There's
And
no
so
one on it.
I'm heading home at like 10 o'clock and I'm already like really frustrated.
Morning or evening?
PM, it's getting
Okay.
dark.
Okay.
And I'm just like so fed up. And I come to this light. I'm all alone. There's no one behind me. There's no one in front of me. There's not even anyone on the damn freeway. There's certainly nobody coming from the left there.
Absolutely no one coming from
And
over
this
there.
light stops me for
Uh-huh.
about 20 fucking minutes. Because after about 5 minutes, I like look at it and I'm like, this
Wait a
stoplight is
second.
broken.
Yeah.
But this is how they get you. That spider cop is sitting over there and they
This is how they
know
get you.
this is that light where like it does take a super long time and it's letting the fake cars go through.
Yeah, the non-existent cars and the one semi a day.
And I looked up there. I looked that stoplight in the eye with furious anger at it. I was I wanted to fucking strangle that light for impeding my forward progress because it
Hmm.
is a stupid light. It's supposed to let cars pass reasonably, but it's just doing this mechanical program that's not helping us. And then I kept looking at it and I realized that it was super fucking cute. It was just like swinging there over the road,
Uh-huh.
and I saw
Doing its thing.
the sky with its clouds and all the
Hmm.
trees around me and the dark kind of brooding feel of everything penetrating into me. I was just like filled with a sense of peace, and I'm
Okay.
still just looking at this red light and I'm not mad at it anymore. I'm
All
just
right.
hanging out. I'm
Let's
like,
play red light chicken. I can wait
you,
longer than you can, light.
you know what, buddy? You're doing your best. And those
Yeah.
people who wanted to be able to come out, they wanted to come out of the road and no one would let them because they live in a busy place.
Hmm.
And all of us people, we have to stop and let them through. And that's kind of bullshit for us. But like, you have no choice. And this light, their one thing they get to do ever is stop me from going forward.
Hmm.
So I loved this light because it taught me this lesson that I have to be at this light and those are the rules and it's cute and fun and everyone's doing their best. And it's like, all right, Adam, if you want to fix that light, you get on that. I don't want to fix that light. I'm just bitching.
Yeah.
So like, cut it out. Quit bitching. It's a great night. And I had a wonderful night. And the switch went up.
Yeah. Into like cognitively, you recognize that you were negative at something that you had zero control over.
And they
Uh,
weren't even a dick. They were a
yeah,
super sweet.
forfeited yourself to the situation and accepted it, and that made the situation not negative anymore.
It was super cute. That was the word for it. It was the cutest thing ever. That I was mad that because that light stopped me, and that light was like, "No, you stop.
It's
There
out to
could be
get
a cop.
you,
There might be a cop. You don't know that, but I
right?
do. I'm
But
the
I
light."
I know there isn't one, but I'm gonna make you wait anyway.
And it's just like, okay, okay, you, nobody, you get to go. You stop. You get to go. Nobody. If anyone comes, you get to go. You stay there, sir. You fucking cute.
I'd be the
It
dickhead
doesn't
on the
know.
other road who's seen this light be green for 20 minutes, and as soon as I get up to it, oh, red.
Exactly. That's how it goes. That's when you're the other one.
Yep.
That light, that little trickster, that dirty little devil is just here to teach us about the world, about
Yeah, little
morality.
little Loki light, just chaos.
The teacher. All right,
I'm
so that's
also I'm the type of driver. Also, being from Montana, there's a lot of places where railroads cross
you bet.
arterial roads, like downtown Montana. I got to the point where if there was a train, no problem. I shut off the car, get out, and sit on my
Mm-hmm.
hood.
Yeah, have a good time. Have a
Like,
picnic.
and more times than I can count that I've done that. Other people are like, oh, and they shut off their car or maybe just put it in park and get out and you're like, yeah, a little stretch. You're not going anywhere. And this may be true, this may be not. Fact checkers of the internet can go, I don't care enough to be proven wrong or right. That a traffic light is not supposed to be longer than 3 minutes, and a train cannot be longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, those are both wrong.
I mean,
I
not to
was
say
stuck
that those
behind this
don't
fucking
exist.
train for 2 hours. Yeah, yeah, it happens, but they're not supposed to.
Did
It's a
it
crime.
stop and like do the like
Yeah,
train
it was
stay?
messed.
Yeah,
They
that
lost a
might be
brake part. Yeah.
that might be something else. But for the sake of emergency, like if an
Yeah.
ambulance with a dude coding or someone coding in the back, just sitting there like they have to make it somewhere, and you can't like take a right and outrun the train. You can't take a left and go back behind the train like the hospital's right there. Industry might say fuck that law and just do whatever they want, but that's something I
Sure.
heard, and it seems like it could be, and just people don't care. But
And
here we
everyone
are.
sucks at running their company, so all the trains are broken and all the planes don't work anymore, and just people aren't good at doing weird, bad
Why
gremlins.
why does this company suck so much? Because other yous work there. Imagine if you work
Yeah,
there.
I
And it's a
work there.
horrible,
I'm an idiot.
horrible place to work. Are
Exactly.
you really gonna do a
It
hundred?
sucks working there. I hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna give this shitty job 100%. Like, no, nobody does.
Maybe starting to get into like stage 9 in the experience of driving, right? Like we think of ourselves, how do you think of yourself locationally, right? Are you
Hmm.
driving and you're in the middle and this is the
Hmm.
center and the road's coming at you? Or are
Oh,
you on an overhead view, are you moving like like what the Pac-Man thing? Yeah,
That
you're
no,
like,
that was a family
I wondered if
vacations
I'd ever
theme
find
song.
it. Overhead view. Are you seeing yourself from the outside going past? Like
Mm.
everyone did the game where you watch the line of the telephone poles and you're like cutting them all down, or you're like jumping over all
Oh
of,
yeah, yeah.
gamifying the experience of driving. I think a really cool thing happens if you try to find like, again, we don't know. Don't try this at home. Don't drive this way. But you try to do a little bit of Zen while you're driving, keeping alert, paying attention to traffic, paying attention to laws, being alert, but just kind of letting it seep in that like nothing is occurring. This is we're just here. And it's like because you're watching this movie about the world going past you. And but really you're just sitting in your car. You're just
As
sitting in a
soon as
car
I
because it's
get into that mindset,
relativity.
I have
You fall asleep.
well, but I have a very visceral snap out of it because I have been in accidents
There
before,
you go.
both my
Yeah.
fault and
So
not my fault.
don't try this at home. Yeah, absolutely. It's
Not
probably a
not
bad
because
idea.
of this, but what snaps into my head is how real it can get really quickly. And then I snap out of it and then I'm like, "Oh shit." And nothing
Yeah.
happened. The
Which is
catalyst never
good.
came. It was just
Understand how
me
heavy and
like,
fast your
"Holy
car
shit."
is.
Yeah.
And the deceleration when you hit a tree is real, real. It's like when you're driving, you don't think of it like you're hanging off a cliff that you could fall 100 feet. But that's what's going to
Right?
happen if you hit something.
Yeah.
It's like you're hanging off a cliff. And then we had talked a little bit about actual kind of like transcending the whole experience of driving and making it into like a truly beautiful, mind expanding, whole integrated feeling of being, and appreciating like the this experience is a once in a lifetime moment that you're having right now. Like I was just thinking one time, I was driving around at night. I had just gotten broken up with, and they were playing Fleetwood Mac on the radio. I was like, oh, that's such a
Oh
thing
boy.
you play when
Yeah.
I'm driving around in the rain at night and it's dark and I
Exactly.
just got dumped and I'm
Yep.
and I'm like, you know what? This is for me. This
Uh-huh.
moment is like the fucking cool. This is exactly the moment that you need in order to create this ego narrative of
Hmm.
heartbreak right now.
You're gonna
Like, of
be
course you
okay.
want this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna smoke a joint in my car now and just like go like this and be
Don't do
John
that.
Cusack for a minute.
Don't do that in your car.
Yeah, because that's the just letting it out, just breathing it out, sighing.
I was watching a film from like the 50s, early 60s, this last week. And the couple, this like kind of cute, like older couple, are protagonists in the film. They're like they had a nice evening supper, and they're like, let's go for a drive. That was a treat. They were going for a drive as
Yeah, I
a
go for a
form of just
drive.
like entertainment. And I don't know if I've ever done that. Like I'm just gonna go like,
Little
yeah,
Sunday
without
driver,
without
little
like a
pleasure
map
cruise.
on, without a specific location to go to.
Climb aboard the magic ship.
Yeah, it's sails are made of moonbeams and there's a
Oof,
cinnamon wind. Ooh.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. You know what? I challenge myself and everyone on here this week. Just go for a pleasure drive
There you
for
go. Have a good drive.
state your time. I don't know how much
Love
time you
it.
have.
Enjoy it. I got pulled out of an actual like the only like psychotic state I've ever been in on a drive on a windy road that was assured to me would be medicine for what ailed me. It's a great
Nice.
thing. It's a great time. Have a nice drive.
Get to a point on their drive, get out of your neighborhood, which I mean, pretty much any way you can go, you've gone before. Get to a point of that drive and take the turn you've never taken. I've never gone
And
left here, and just check it
let
out.
let's also point out in the right quadrants, especially like upper right, the vehicle is an orange meme deal. Motor vehicle is an orange meme deal. It comes with orange meme. Everyone starts getting cars,
It's
and
a
now
responsibility.
that we're more green, we're trying to get rid of cars. We're trying to say like self-piloting things, take the train, ride your bike,
Hmm.
take a canoe, teleport there. So the motor vehicle deal kind of centers on that orange there. We were riding horses a lot, and that meant a lot about you. And we were riding our horse, our
You
Harley, our
had a
motorcycle, our
relationship with
bicycle.
that horse. If that horse didn't like you, it's a very different ride than if you and the horse have like been riding for years and years. That horse trusts you, you trust it. It's implicit. You get a new
Yeah,
horse like that. That's different. A car
we have
is a
personality.
machine.
Yeah,
We put a personality to it. A lot of people name their cars, even further putting a personality to it, but it's a machine. You got to have some rationality when doing a machine, with doing machine things.
You bet. It's how you make them and it's how you operate them. Rationality. Just in case we get cut off by our internet, we've been on Think Me today, and please remember to like, help, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Join our Discord. It really helps to boost our visibility, and we want this stuff to be visible. Let's give Cody Arbuckle a
In front of your
yeah.
face.
If you're ready, I'm going to say it, yeah, and you're going to say it, yeah, yeah. There we go. Now we're all pumped up for the day, and Cody's pumped up, and it made him super happy and excited to do this day with us today, or
Thanks
night, or
for
whatever it
listening.
is, to go to bed. Yeah,
Say it again. Like,
let's
subscribe,
say it
ring
again.
that bell. Let's go for a
Listen to
drive.
us on a drive. How does that sound? Listen to
Oh
Unthink
my
Me on a
God.
drive. How do you like that? Use
Oh
up all
my.
your data. Yeah. Who's your data? I look inside my data plan, and there's just nothing in there. It's just empty.
Everyone was
Like,
switching to Mint, and I'm such a nonconformist that I switched to Mint.
you look inside my car, and you expect to see a human being, but what you actually see is a crocodile wearing a farmer's hat, a big, long, wide-brimmed farmer's hat. And that's me. That's me inside the car. My inferior cognitive process has taken the wheel, and now it's squirting out without control, without regard for the rules and the sensible practicalities. Truth is, there's nobody in this car, and this car isn't real, and neither are you. And actually, the words I'm saying are fake. They're fake words. I did not have any sexual relations with that woman.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't even inhale when I did that. When you people, you put me in this little tutu and you make me dance around. I've had enough. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I have had enough, Ethel. I am sick of this marriage. Every day I do my work for you and for Lou and for Paul and for Beth. And what do I get for all my trouble? And all of my consternation that I experienced being with you? Just because, well, all I really want in my heart is for you to get back a little bit. But you never get back. You never, ever, ever get back to me. I'm just... You know what I mean, dude?
I think we have a lot more time than you think we had. Like, now there's a minute left.
And if any therapists are watching, you got my email down there, and I am looking. Please, please help me. I need you. You're my only hope, Obi-Wan. I'm the Obi-Wan of love. Save me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm doing great. I was just doing a bit there.
I'm
Some
just
improv.
joshing. I'm just joshing with you guys.
I just like to do improv.
I'm just goofing.
I hope that was cerebral and visceral. Two big words for what just happened. I feel like we've grown a little bit as a couple through this experience. Even though it was like a little unpleasant, I feel like it's kind of deepened our sense of feeling.
Are you gonna hit me with that hope we can stay friends?
I hope that we can still be lovers